The 2018 NBA draft just wrapped up, and man, oh man, was it crazy. But right now, it's about 12 a.m. in the morning, and I gotta get it to y'all, the winners and the losers of the 2018 NBA draft. It was definitely insane. So, if you guys like my content, make sure you like and subscribe. Let's try to get 2.5 thousand likes on today's video, and let's hop into it. Okay guys, so we gotta start it off with the team that I feel won the 2018 NBA draft, and y'all know who that's gotta be. It's gonna be the Phoenix Suns. Y'all know the Phoenix Suns, the position they're in right now. Right now, they have a young star in Devin Booker, who lit up the NBA on the offensive side of the basketball this season. They had their 4th overall pick last season, and Josh Jackson, who this year, he started out pretty rough in the NBA, but ended up finishing his rookie season very, very strong. They got a solid player in TJ Warren, but they still finished with the worst record in the whole entire NBA, but they definitely had a bunch of solid building pieces, and going into this NBA draft, they were given the #1 overall pick, where they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They didn't go crazy, draft Marvin Bagley, not saying that's a bad selection or anything, but they went with the clear-cut #1 overall selection in DeAndre Ayton, a guy that at Arizona was an absolute beast, being very versatile, being able to play the 4 and the 5 in college, averaging 20 points, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, absolutely dominated in college basketball. Yes, there are some questions about his shot blocking ability, but regardless, with that kind of frame, with that kind of offensive skill set, this guy has a ton of potential in the NBA. But they absolutely went crazy and traded with the 76ers to get Mikal Bridges out of Villanova. And if you guys watch my content, you know I'm a big believer in Mikal Bridges. Now, I loved his fit with the Philadelphia 76ers, but the Phoenix Suns ending the night with DeAndre Ayton, ending the night with Mikal Bridges, one of the best 3-and-D players in all of college basketball, probably the best wing defender in college basketball. He can hit the open threes. Now on the Phoenix Suns, you put him by Devin Booker and Josh Jackson. I mean, now you have him and Josh Jackson, both lethal wing defenders to really carry Devin Booker's weak defensive ability. And y'all already know what Devin Booker is on the offense side of the basketball, and that's not even talking about who we just mentioned, DeAndre Ayton in the post. Yes, they still have a hole at that point guard position, but regardless, the Suns definitely took an absolute massive W tonight. Okay guys, so next we've got a loser in the draft, and it's going to go right along with the one we just mentioned, and that's going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, this is not a massive L. Obviously, they traded with Mikal Bridges. They're able to get Zari Smith out of Texas Tech, who was taken with the 16th overall pick, and also got the 2021 Miami first-round pick. We really don't know at this point where that's going to be. That's obviously pretty far away. So they got a decent value out of that 10th pick. But Mikal Bridges was a match made in heaven for the Philadelphia 76ers. I had made a whole video about that in the past. He's a guy that played for Villanova. He's practically a hometown kid. His mom works for the organization. Now, obviously, those things don't really contribute to the basketball court. At least, he feels comfortable in his city. But regardless, you've got Ben Simmons. You've got Joel Embiid. You're starting to build a team that can compete at the top of the Eastern Conference. They won 50-plus games last season. You've got a guy in Ben Simmons who can't shoot the basketball at 6'10", but he's an amazing point guard. He's an amazing facilitator. And what's best is surround those kind of guys. You've got a dominant center. You've got a dominant point guard who can't really shoot the basketball. You want 3-and-D. And last season, they were able to get great shooters like Marco Bellinelli, JJ Redick, Ersan Ilyasova, and a solid 3-and-D player in Robert Covington. But Ersan Ilyasova, JJ Redick, and Marco Bellinelli all need new contracts this offseason. So the chance of bringing them all back is very, very unlikely. And getting a guy like Mikal Bridges, who's one of the best wing defenders in college basketball, he shot well over 40% from 3 to go along with Robert Covington, to go alongside Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons. I think the Philadelphia 76ers really missed out. We're talking about a 4-year college player that was ready to compete right now. He's won 2 national championships at Villanova, and in my opinion, the Philadelphia 76ers really could have used Mikal Bridges, but maybe I'm just crazy. Okay, so next we got the Denver Nuggets as a winner in this draft. Now, this is definitely an insane scenario. I mean, a week ago, we were hearing reports that the Sacramento Kings were really interested in Michael Porter Jr. with the 2nd overall pick. They got really good reports about his medical. They wanted to get another workout in. We heard the same thing about the Memphis Grizzlies. And then suddenly, within the past 12 hours, we're hearing all this negativity about Michael Porter Jr. and his medical reports. And he absolutely falls in the draft all the way down to the last pick in the draft lottery with the 14th pick, where the Denver Nuggets get him. And yes, because of all these medical reports, it does appear that Michael Porter Jr. is a pretty risky selection. But at the end end of the day, when you look at the NBA draft, you look at all the past NBA drafts, there's only a handful of players that come out to be great NBA players. You've got to take risk in the NBA draft. And getting a guy like Michael Porter Jr. with the 14th pick, this could be insane. I mean, we saw Joel Embiid. He got drafted as an injured player. He missed out in his first couple seasons and now is dominating in Philadelphia. Yes, this is a serious injury, as Michael Porter Jr. did have surgery on his back. But we're also talking about a guy that's 6'10". He's a small forward. He can take the ball up. He's one of the best shooting big men in the whole entire draft. He averaged 36 points per game in high school on one of the best high school teams in the country. And yes, when he went to Missouri, it was miserable when he came back for that stretch of games, but he didn't even have to come back. He came back because it was the SEC tournament. It was the NCAA tournament. He wanted to win with Missouri. He wanted to win with his brother. So if he is healthy, if he's only 75% of what his potential is, this could be an absolutely massive steal for the Denver Nuggets, a team that's already competing in the Western Conference with guys like Paul Millsap, Nikola Jokic, young players in Gary Harris, Jamal Murray, maybe Will Barton if he resigns. If Michael Porter Jr. can be anything of what we expected, a season ago, man, oh man, could this be the steal of the draft? And that's why Denver Nuggets, I like people that take risk, and I think this could really pay off. And next, we've got a loser in the draft, and it's going to be the same scenario. The loser is going to be Michael Porter Jr. Now, it's sad that in this scenario, he is a loser. It's not necessarily his fault. This is definitely a sad scenario for Michael Porter Jr., a guy that was a top player in high school in all the mock drafts going into the season, was projected to be a top 3 pick, hands down. But because of this injury, a very serious injury, he has fallen all the way to this 14th pick. Now, this is a big deal. I mean, you just go back weeks ago, even with all this injury stuff, he was still projected to go between the 8th or 9th pick. Falling all the way down to the 14th pick means he loses out on a massive $4 million. Now, everything is not always about money, but Michael Porter is a competitor. He wanted to go as high in the draft as he could, and falling all the way to the 14th pick is definitely not what he expected. The quotes you see after the NBA draft, he was definitely shocked on where he went. I mean, it's definitely a sad story what an injury can do. I mean, if he were to go with the number 1, 2, or 3 pick, I mean, he would be getting right around $30 million over the course of the next 4 years, but on the contract he's in right now, he's going to be getting right around 12.5. That is absolutely sad, but hopefully this just brings more motivation to Michael Porter to get as healthy as possible, to compete at the highest level, and maybe this could have been the best thing for his career. Okay guys, so next we've got another winner in this draft, and it's hands down the Boston Celtics. This was absolutely crazy that a guy in Robert Williams slid all the way down to the 27th pick where the Boston Celtics could take him. Robert Williams was a guy that it was almost consensus as far as these mock drafts go to go right about the bottom of the lottery or right outside the lottery, not fall all the way to the 27th pick. He could have gone to the 2017 NBA draft and was projected to be a lottery selection, decided to come back for his sophomore year, and this is now what's happening. This is absolutely crazy. We're talking about a team that finished with one of the best records in the whole entire NBA, with one of their best players in Gordon Hayward being injured for the whole entire season. Made an absolutely massive playoff run with their star player in Kyrie Irving being hurt. This team has so much potential with young talent and guys like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, great players in Al Horford, Gordon Hayward, and Kyrie Irving. And you add in Robert Williams, they lack some big man depth. And getting a guy like Robert Williams, one of the best defensive prospects in this draft, yes, Robert Williams is not going to, be crazy on the offensive side of the basketball. He's not going to make a lot of mid-range jumper. He's not going to make any threes whatsoever. He's going to shoot below 50% from the free throw line, but he can be a Clint Capella, an Andre Drummond, a DeAndre Jordan-esque player. He does have that kind of skill set. He was an amazing shot blocker, an amazing defender, a 2-time SEC Defensive Player of the Year. This guy can rebound, and you add that into the Boston Celtics, which was the best defensive team in all of the NBA this season. Now, he's obviously not going to be starting for the Boston Celtics. You've got Al Horford at that starting position, but again, that's a guy that Robert Williams can learn under. But just having Robert Williams within the rotation with all the talent they already have, with rumors maybe Kawhi comes in, this team is going to be insane on the defense side of the basketball. This team has an insane amount of potential, and having Robert Williams slide all the way to the 27th pick just makes Danny Ainge look like more and more of a genius. But I'm just happy that the Celtics took him without him sliding one more pick to the Golden State Warriors, because having another defensive anchor to go along with all the great talent they have on the Warriors, that could have gotten scary. But the Celtics were definitely a massive winner of the night. Okay guys, for the last team in this video, we've got the Cleveland Cavaliers as a loser. Now, they took Colin Sexton with the 8th overall pick, and I don't want to completely knock Colin Sexton. I can see him having a pretty solid career, but there are some massive concerns with this guy. He's a guy that only measured in as 6'1.5" in shoes in the combine. A guy that's listed at 6'3", measuring at 6'1.5" in shoes, making him right around 6'1". That's a big red flag. He's a guy that's not a great playmaker, only getting 3.6 assists to go along with 2.8 turnovers in college, but that wasn't really his role. He was a volume scorer, getting 19.2 points on decent efficiency at 45% from the field and 33.6% from 3. So right now, he's not a very solid 3-point shooter, and with guys like Miles Bridges, Mikal Bridges, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kevin Knox on the board, or even a guy like Michael Porter Jr., I'm not sure this was the right move, especially if you want to bring in LeBron James. The Cleveland Cavaliers said they made this pick not thinking about LeBron James or the future of LeBron James, but regardless, if you want any hope of bringing in LeBron James, I don't know if Colin Sexton's a guy to pair up with him. You know, you need a guy that can hit the open three, and Colin Sexton has improved that. This is a ball-dominant player, and I don't know if this pick will intrigue LeBron James any further to coming back for the Cleveland Cavaliers. In fact, I think this pick solidifies that LeBron James is out the door, probably to a team like the Los Angeles Lakers, Philadelphia 76ers. We've talked about that all, but that's the video, guys. You guys tell me your thoughts. Who's the winners? Who's the losers of the draft? Who are your favorite prospects? What's your favorite team? And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.